Hey gamers, this is the intro to my first series. Let's create a competitive card game. So let's get started. First, why a card game? Well, I've been playing card games since I was 8 to 9 years old. The first card game I ever played was Yu-Gi-Oh! From there I moved on to Magic, Pokemon, Versus System, The Spoils, etc. I played a good majority of the card games in existence today. And the entire time I've played these games, I've always thought, hey, wouldn't it be cool to essentially create my own card game? And I'm sure if you're watching this series, you've probably had the same thought. Next, what is a competitive card game? I've personally never heard anyone use the term before, and that's not to say that I've created the term, but I've just never heard it used. Essentially, a competitive card game is something like, let's say, Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Force of Will. It's a game with a fleshed out tournament system that requires at least some skill to play. Now, when it comes to creating this game, I personally prefer a game that requires skill over luck or randomness. And that's not to say that luck or randomness is bad. It's just that I prefer skill. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and open up OneNote, and let's go ahead, create new. So I don't actually have a name or a idea of how I want the game yet. So we'll just call this competitive card game. And this is what I'll use to document my journey creating a card game. So what I want to do first is maybe set up some goals I have, and maybe some, how about this? How about goals will be what I hope to accomplish, whether realistic or not. And I know it's kind of contrary to what goals are. Goals should be achievable and measurable. But with that, let's say goals and expectations. So goals will be what I want to accomplish at, let's say, the highest levels, and the expectations will be given what I know about myself, what I reasonably expect to accomplish during this process. So let's go with goals first. And how about this? How about just make a checkbox of goals that I want to check off or accomplish. So making a card game, I'd say the #1 goal would be, let's say, what was I going to say? Successful card game in the market. How about that? I think that'll be one of the high points. If I can get a game into the market, I think I've ultimately achieved my goal. Now the next goal would be to have a, how should I say this? Let's say a popular, I want the game to be popular, or not popular, let's say mainstream. Yeah, let's go mainstream. And for some reason, I cannot type today. Next goal, let's see, when I look at cards, okay, how about great art? So that's one of the first things I notice when I look at cards is the art. And by great art, let's say great art is art that's on, let's use MTG. Not to say that it has the best art, but the quality of MTG is pretty good. Actually, Ashes as well. I don't know if you guys have ever played Ashes. I think it's like Ashes Reborn or something like that. but the art on there is extremely good. Let's see, since it is a competitive card game I'm trying to make, I'd say let's say fully realized tournament system. So that would be tournaments set up, going around competing. Yeah. So yeah, that should be good for now. So I'll say let's do four to five goals and expectations to begin with, and as I go through this process, I'll come back and check some of these off and maybe add some new ones to the mix. So this would be expectations. So again, the expectations would be, given the knowledge I have of myself, what I believe I should be able to accomplish. So card game, let's say printed version of the card game. And by printed version of game, I mean that's really easy to do. You can go to like Print Ninja or something like that and just print out cards. That's not what I mean by this. I mean, having completed a card game, I want to have a full print run of it. Next, let's say great art there. Let's say decent art. And by decent, I don't mean like stick figures. I mean something, something decent. Not too great, but not too bad, or rather just, yeah, decent art. Next, let's say I like games like the Spoils, where they have some type of world to it. So let's say a fleshed out world. And actually no, how about this? Let's say fleshed out gameplay mechanics. And we'll say enticing lore. I like games that have some type of lore to them. So yeah, so we'll just go with 4 of each for the moment. So these will be the goals and expectations that I hope to accomplish by the end of this series. So now, this will be some things, let's just say to-dos. And I want this video to be not too long, so this will be it for this video once we finish these to-dos. So now for to-dos, let's say I don't have a name, so I need a name and a logo. So I need to come up with a name and logo. I need to come up with, let's see, name and logo. How about a game concept? And game concept being all-encompassing with regards to, let's say, win conditions, themes, things of that nature. So we need name and logo, some game concept. Let's see, what's some other things I need to think about when creating a game? How about, well, we'll need to do some play testing, some prototyping. So card art, obviously. So how about this? Card art / artist. So I need to get an artist. And these are just high-level things that I'll need to do to just make a card game. So obviously I'll need some rules. Let's see, name, logo, game concept, card art, artist, rules. Now, something else to think about is maybe publishing. Is this something I want to publish myself, or do I want to attempt to secure publishing elsewhere. And something else that actually goes hand in hand with publishing, if I do choose to attempt to publish this myself, would be marketing. So that's name and logo, game concept, card art artist rules, publishing, and marketing. So this will be, let's say, the end of the intro, and in the next video I'll go over the game concept. So I'll be coming up with the concept for my game. Thanks guys. Please like, subscribe, and all that other good stuff.